Hi, guys. It's Becca. I am back in Becca's backyard. As you can see by the snow behind me, it's been a snowy week, but I'm excited to be back, you guys. I got lots of good feedback from last week's live stream. I am so excited to be doing this with you on a weekly basis. I know I was going to try and do them a little bit earlier this week, but then something came up in my schedule, and I realized that that particular time during the day, which is 1 p.m. around-ish my time, it's the best time for me to schedule meetings with people who are not in my time zone. So like in New York, it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and other places only 11 a.m., things like that. So I realized when I looked at my calendar, I have a whole bunch of things scheduled for, yeah, snowplows and stuff. So we're going to hear some of that stuff. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so I realized that, what was I even saying? Who remembers? Because of the snowplow. Hold on a second, it'll come back. Oh, right. So when I looked at my calendar, there were a whole bunch of appointments scheduled at that time. So obviously not a good time consistently for me to do it. So I'm back at 2:20 my time, which is Mountain Standard Time, and here in Colorado. And I think it's going to be a good time for me kind of continuing forward. As you can tell by my voice and the non-poofs of cold air coming out of my mouth, it is definitely better here today. In fact, it's gorgeous. It is sunny and beautiful, and it is 32 degrees right now. I checked before I came on, and that is Fahrenheit for you Celsius people out there. So do that math, whatever that is. It is 32 degrees right now, and last week when I was talking to you guys, it was 6 degrees. Do you remember that? 6. So it is a lot better. I'm out in just a hoodie and a few little things to keep me warm and feel cozy and whatnot. Yeah, but it's otherwise a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Before we get started, I want to take you guys on a quick little walk around because we have some amazing icicles happening. And I want to show you the snow because last time it was snowing and now it's just snow. So here we go. Around with the camera. Sorry if you're nauseous. Here we go. Okay. So you can see, look at these icicles. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Can you see that? Oh, focus. There it is. Look at that. The other way. Look at them. They're humongous. Oh my God. Okay. And then we have this one giant one. And this is all I'm going to show you. Then I'm turning around probably. I don't know. But we have this whole set of icicles here. This is by our front door. Look at this behemoth. It is coming from the top and it practically touches. Here's the end of it. Wow. It comes all the way down and all the way up. That's crazy. So we're watching that one also so no one dies below if it falls. But that's crazy. Oh, and then you can see my Gussie. That's Gus. He's out. All the pups are out with Antonio. He's down there just waiting with dogs. That's Penny with him. But these icicles were just so big. I had to show them to you. I mean, it's craziness. So look. So today we've had a really warm day and almost all the snow has melted off the trees and stuff. And you can see it's all dripping over here. But I'm making my way all the way around. Doing a fast one this time. A little bit. But it's just beautiful. And today I can show you the mountains. Look at them. They're majestic. Right? I mean, it's just beautiful. Really gorgeous. So there you go, a little picture of our kind of snow situation. So it literally, let me settle back down, turn the camera around again, kind of do that jazz. Okay, let's see. Oh, settled back. You can kind of see me also and the background. Okay, so it snowed for, I think it was 5 or 6 days straight, and basically on and off and snow, and that's it. And so today is the first day of blue sky that we have had in a bunch. And we're supposed to have sunny days for the next 5 days, and then we get more snow. So hopefully some of this will melt down because right now it's coming up to like right below my knees as a short person. And it's making it difficult to traverse the world. But yeah, so that's that. That's what's going on here in terms of weather and happenings. But now that it's sunny out again, I have this whole other set of energy. and I'm feeling more creative. And I realize it's because the sunshine is coming back, and so the seasonal depression is fading away, and my brain's starting to feel a little bit more normal, and things like that. But man, it's been a long winter. That's how it feels. It feels like it's been forever since I've had any creative thoughts, or any really kind of solid feelings about who I am and what it is that I have to say and do with myself this year while I'm on this planet. And so it's just been quiet in my brain and in my physicalness and all of that stuff. But yeah, so it's coming back. I have sunshine now outside, and just more hours of it when we get it. And I can feel the difference that it makes for me. And I used to be a really, really cranky New Yorker. And I think part of the reason that so many New Yorkers are so cranky is the lack of sunshine. Because even on sunny days, when you have a sunny day in New York, it's still like buildings block out the sky. Like there's no sky visuals really in New York. And that's something that I really, really enjoy. You guys are about to hear a whole bunch of barking because one of our friends is coming over with his dog, and all the dogs get excited when they see each other. I have tried to plan it around this, but life picks out the way that it does, and it just kind of happens the way that it does. So we'll roll with it, and just ignore the dogs in the background, I guess. I hope it's not too bad. In any case, today there were things that I wanted to start talking to you about this week. And so one of the things that sort of set me thinking about what to talk about today was a meme that I want to share with you guys. I shared it on my Facebook, I think. I don't remember where I shared it, but I saved it to my phone because I thought this is the beginning of the conversation we should be having. This is the beginning of it. And so we talked a little bit about how change is hard and it's painful and all of those things, and we know that. But we know that also we talked about saying yes to things last week, right? And so as you say yes to things, everything kind of gets more complicated, and getting more complicated isn't necessarily comfortable for those of us on the spectrum. So I always say to people, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where growth happens. Growth happens when you're most uncomfortable. And I saw a meme this morning that just reminded me of it, and I put it out there, and one of my really good friends said, "This was for me. Thanks for putting out the message. I needed it today." And that's what happens, I think, with a lot of us when we put memes out there. We put them out and we think, wow, that really spoke to me. I thought that was really good. And then somebody else said, oh, that was the message I needed today. And that's clearly the reason that you had to go ahead and post it. You felt compelled to post it, was to pass the message along. So I'm going to pass the message along to you guys too. So here's what it looks like. It's just very boring, right? And it's very typeface, and that's all. It's no pictures or anything like that. But what it says is really important. It says, the most important spiritual growth doesn't happen when you're meditating or on a yoga mat. It happens in the midst of conflict, when you're frustrated, angry, or scared, and you're doing the same old thing. And then you suddenly realize that you have a choice to do it different. And that is the point that I want to talk about today, is the idea of choice. I think the concept of choice and learning how to make good choices is something that folks on the spectrum don't really get taught. And it's also one of those skill sets that we don't learn intuitively either. And so you kind of need to understand that you do have choices as an autistic person, and that even though the world has really kind of tried to brainwash us a whole bunch that we don't have choices, or we're not capable of making choices, perhaps, or we're not capable of deciding big things for ourselves and such. But that takes and at the same time, those same people will, out of the other side of their mouth, talk about how we should be independent and all that stuff. But those two things can't coexist, right? Silly. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about having choices and how to make those choices, and ways that we opt out of some really simple choices in our lives that we have. And as with everything, right, if you want to start making better choices and start making more choices about your life, you need to make the effort to do that. You need to go out and think about what kind of things do you want to change. And when you go to change them, you want to think about the choices that are available to you in that arena, right? So one of the things, so we talked about that, and I talked about how, like, the first thing that I did was to start saying yes to more things, because I was a habitual no-sayer because it was safe. Well, the other thing is that's safe is not making choices, right? If you don't make a choice, that's a choice, because whatever happens to you because you didn't do something or make that choice, will happen to you, right? I mean, if someone else makes that choice for you, the results of their choice and have given away your power of choice to them will have its results, and all of those things. So I want you to think about this week taking back the power of choice for yourself, understanding that the idea that you have a choice about everything that you want to be doing in your life, with your time, with your spoons, with your energy, whatever way you want to talk about it. I want you to understand that those choices are yours. I want you to take back that power. There's nothing more empowering than kind of really making choices. Oh, see, dog fighting. They're rolling around in the snow and somebody doesn't like it. So, yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about that kind of stuff. And I want to talk about like some really easy choices you can make now that are the easy things to start practicing making a choice, right? Okay. So I'm going to use social media as an example for us because I think that we're all on it. Obviously, if you're watching me on live stream, you know about social media because that's where I told you to go and be on my live stream, right? So we're all involved in social media. And what I want us to think about is our choices involving social media, right? A lot of the times we get into the habit of being on social media. We get into the habit of doing certain things in a certain order on our social media or in a certain way on our social media. But and then we often complain about our social media and what's going on social media, which I think is a fantastic thing that we do back in our own faces. I am guilty. I am not saying I am the exception. And what I want to remind us is that social media is all about choice. It's all built on the concept of choice, of liking things or not liking things, of adding things, joining a group, not joining a group, right? Being friends with someone, networking with someone, connecting with them. All of that stuff is a choice. It's a choice what you share. It's a choice what, right? All of that stuff, that's all choices that you're making all day long. And we get complacent. Like, this is not a choice anymore. Oh, it's just my social media. No, it's your social media, right? So you get to make choices about what happens with it. And I remember when I had that aha moment, I had this aha moment like, I don't have to be a victim to my social media. How did this happen? I don't want to be a victim to my social media, and it's my choice. So here are the things I want you to think about as choices regarding social media. Time. How much time do you want to be giving to social media per day, per week, per month, however you need to break it down for yourself? How many spoons? How much time? How much of your non-renewable resources will you be giving away to social media? And are you receiving in return anything useful? Your recharge, or are you getting social connections? What are you getting from it, and are they balancing each other out, right? So that's choice number one, is how much you use it, right? I think choice number two is where you use it, like not just necessarily your phone or your computer or whatever, but where? Like, do you use it when you're out in public all the time? Do you use it at the dinner table? Do you use it on the couch? There's a feeling that when we get a buzz or a notification that it's sort of urgent and we must look at it right away because of our cell phones and the internet, everything has sort of become an instant gratification world. And so there's now this panic that we must look at and respond to the comment immediately, whatever it is. But that, again, is a choice. It's the beauty of social media technology, is that you get to take a time, you get to take your pause and answer when you're ready, and that the email will sit there unread until you're ready to read it, right? You don't have to do those things instantaneously. So I want you to think about where you're using social media. Where in your life are you using it? And are you using it as an escape? Are you using it as a recharge? Are you using it as a way to distract yourself? What is its purpose in the wheres that you're using it, right? And then my last big tip, and this is really the big one. I mean, those other ones are seemingly simple and obvious to me, but here's a really, really big one. And I wrote a whole piece about it. I'll put a link maybe in the description or something. And it was all about kind of learning how to change your input. That's what I titled it. And I want to talk about that because that's a choice. It's another big choice that we're making on social media every day, right? So we decide what's in our feed. Essentially, all of that stuff is a choice. Who you want to see first, who you want to see last, who you don't want to see at all, right? Really simple. You don't even have to hurt people's feelings. You don't even have to unfriend them. You just have to go to their profile and unfollow them. So if there are people that kind of poke the bear, I want to say, who really get you going, or agitated about stuff, and that's energy that you don't necessarily want in your life, clear them out of your feed. So that was something that I did really early, right after I started saying yes. I said, okay, I'm in control of this. I was sharing very sarcastic and nasty memes because they were funny. I still think they're funny, but that's the content I was sharing, and it was also the content that I was reading. So how could I expect to not be a sarcastic, angry person in my life? Because that was my input and it was my output, right? And so I had that moment and I thought, wow, no, I'm in control of that. And I don't want to put that in anymore. So if all of my input influences what I put back out, I want to put out such different stuff. I better take in different stuff. And I went through my Facebook because that's really all I used at that time. And I went through it and I cleared out all my groups and I just stayed in groups that I really used, and I cleared out pages that I didn't follow, and I stopped following ones that were negative in any way and that kind of stuff, because I didn't want, there was enough of it out there that I didn't want to perpetuate it in my life. And that's my choice, right? Like, I'm not saying get rid of your sarcasm and all of that stuff in your feed. I'm saying, can you clear through your social media? Sorry, everybody's got their chains on. Very rude. Tow truck. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and everybody's been towed, like all over the place. People keep getting stuck up here. It's crazy. It's been insane. But in any case, that's, it's your choice what appears in your feed. It's your choice kind of what you want in and what you want to put out. And if you're not happy with what it's doing currently, well, it's a choice that you have to change it, right? It's all in your control. And I think that was something that started changing things pretty quickly for me. It was a really great cheat to changing my mindset and to starting to deal with changing the script in my head and the negative self-talk that I carry with me all the time. And so that's kind of my bit of advice. That's my next step to start saying yes more, is, think about your input, and take control of some of the choices that you have. Learn that, we'll talk more. I will come back to choices over and over again, because that is my soapbox thing. I really can't stand it that people aren't taught how to make smart choices and aren't taught how to get to a certain goal and aren't taught how to kind of set up a life that they enjoy. And so I will come back to choices again, but what I really want you to think about is this is a really small basic choice in your life, social media, right? That's in your control. Is it annoying to you? What can you do to change it? And what can you add? Like, don't forget, you don't just have to delete, right? You don't have to just take things away and take things away and take things away. Look for replacements, right? Jump in groups that do things that you enjoy. Try a new hobby, add in new and exciting things to keep you inspired. It doesn't mean that you have to like pare down and just be at nothing all the time. Remember to add back in, right? Got to. Otherwise, your life will be empty and meaningless, and instead it can be full of the things you love instead of the things that annoy you, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is about reclaiming your life and deciding where your energy goes. I see you guys are leaving me some messages. I'm gonna go take a look. Let's see, I have to go close because I can't see. All right. Oh, see, okay, Joe, she went ahead and she called her Facebook friends down, like, to a whole bunch. And see, and Nancy's posting positive stuff and and unfriending people who post mean things, right? Yeah, take control of it back, man. It's your life. It's your input, right? The world is what you create it to be. It's what your thoughts create it to be. It's what your input creates it to be. It gets to be all the things that you want instead of what you've kind of digested and accepted as a way to make it through the world, right? Because that's surviving. Right? Again, and we talk about that all the time. There's another key phrase of mine, right? It's not about surviving anymore. It's about taking the next step. It's about growing past surviving and growing to thriving, right? That's where we want to be. That's the pocket that every human being wants to be in. And as autistics, we deserve the same. We can get it, but of course, it looks different, right? But it's yours, it's yours to take back and to kind of have ownership of, and really decide what you let in and how it gets in all the time. I mean, those are your choices. And we'll talk about the big choices because we get to those, right? And I'll talk about them for sure. And how to like kind of use these ideas to help you with those things. But what I'm talking about is just remembering how many things we've become complacent about and forgetting all of the things that we have choices about. that are in our control, and to start taking back our own lives from, I don't know, society's crazy ideas of what's supposed to be. It just doesn't work for autistics, and it's a shame for us to continue to chase failure when we could have our version of success. Let's see, what else? Yes, this is a fantastic use of social media, right, Nancy? That's what I'm saying, right? I love technology. I love all of this stuff, but it's my choice, right, to be here and talking to you guys and using my spoons and my energy to sit outside. And I have to tell you, I'm loving it, right? It's a fantastic. It recharges me. It keeps me inspired to keep doing the stuff that I want to keep doing. Because it keeps me attached to you guys, right? And you're the guys I write for. I mean, I know my own stories. What do I have to hear them for? I write them down for you guys so that whatever I learned, you guys can share in. And that's what I'm doing here. And I want to continue to talk about the things that you guys think are important. I want to keep giving you my tips, sort of, and unrolling my ideas behind how to kind of build this life that you don't need a vacation from. And I want to do all that, but I want to do videos and kind of answer your questions too about stuff that you want to know from me. So if you have ideas about that stuff, comment after this video. You can email me at info@beccalaurie.com. You can get in touch with me through my website, beccalaurie.com. I have a contact page there. But you can comment on any of my social media, anywhere you see this video, and let me know if you like what I'm doing with a thumbs up or thumbs down, and give me comments about what you think I'm doing, and if you want more, what things I could talk about that would be helpful to you guys. I'd like to be able to do that stuff too, so it's not, all about me. I don't want it to be all about me ever. It's so uncomfortable. But I'm working on that too. I'm really trying, right? I used to be a writer that I didn't show my face very much. I had like my bio picture that I sent with all the things, my headshot. But I didn't do a lot of videos. In fact, I didn't do any until about a year and a half ago, maybe a little more. It just wasn't my thing because, again, but I'm working on it. Hard for me, right? Doing it anyway. It's my choice to try and challenge myself and what I want to do with my spoons. And I don't want to silently share my opinions to those who take the time to read. I want to shout them really loud from YouTube. So I don't know. Try new things. You got to do it. You have to. Yeah. So I guess that's about it for me this week. If you've enjoyed the stream, please go ahead and take a look because I've already set up the one for next week. So I'll be doing a live stream every Tuesday at 2:20 p.m. Mountain Time. I will be doing one again next Tuesday, and it's always live. Come ready with questions. I'll try to get to questions in the live chat like this. After I've talked about all my garbage, can definitely take some time to answer some questions from you guys. And again, I love hearing from you. So comments, great. Subscriptions, even better. Sharing, fantastic. So yeah, let me know what's up. Appreciate your shares, appreciate your love, and I really appreciate the spoons and time that you take to be with me because I love sharing that space with you. It was really great seeing you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed the snow and the icicles, especially because they're pretty magical. I'm going to try and take some stills of them now because the weather's pretty. All right. I will see you guys on Friday. For those of you that are subscribed to the channel and are fans of Neurodiversity Newsstand, I will see you on Friday afternoon for the next installment of Neurodiversity Newsstand. If you just dig Becca's Backyard, then I'll see you next Tuesday at 2:20 p.m. live with Becca's Backyard. I'm Becca Laurie Hector, and I will see you next time. Have a great one.